Indonesia's been a strong player in this non-aligned movement, hasn't it? So we wouldn't be expecting there to be any sort of military alliance on offer here.
Well, not formally, but, you know, there are many ways diplomatically to square those particular circles. So, you know, Indonesia has, for example, Indonesian diplomats have said that, you know, there's not going to be a Russian base on Indonesian soil. Well, maybe it'll be a joint facility. Maybe it'll be an Indonesian base, and it just so happens that the Russians are able to use it. In fact, Chris, in the ad break that we've just had, I've now seen there's been confirmation coming out of the Russian embassy in Jakarta that they were indeed talking with the Indonesians about establishing a military facility. Now, it's within Indonesia's power to say no, but it's undeniable that these conversations are going on, and I think President Subianto has got a strong interest in wanting to get closer with Moscow for whatever reason. It might sound a bit strange to our listeners, but nevertheless, that is an Indonesian priority and has been for some time.
Yeah, I'll come back to those reasons in a moment, but just I was going to say that from what you've been saying, and you just confirmed it by the latest news sources you checked, you're speaking as if this it's very likely that this would have been raised, and therefore in the political debate here, they're climbing in to Peter Dutton for making too much of it. Well, obviously it is a significant issue because it sounds like Russia has been looking to get this sort of access to Indonesian territory. So just back to the strategic reasons for this, would Indonesia be doing this because Russia is a bit of a hedge for them against China in the region, or is China involved in this?
I think there is a chance that China is involved in this, in the sense that, of course, we have, Chris, you know, a very close partnership between Putin and China's leader Xi Jinping. In fact, the two leaders that, or the leader that Xi knows most in the world is Putin. He's met him at least 40 times, and they have their so-called no limits partnership. And it may well be that what's happening here is that Russia is doing China a favour, or China has asked Russia to do it a favour, establish a military facility in Indonesia. The Chinese, because of reasons of their own history with Indonesia, would struggle to do that. But no one would benefit more than China for having some Russian heavy bombers situated just a couple of hours flight away south of Guam. That major American military base in the Pacific.
We're nearly out of time.
What we're seeing is a joint action.
Yeah, that's a worry. We're nearly out of time. If you give me just a quick hit, in case anybody's unsure as to why this should be of great concern to Australia.
Well, it's a short jet flight to Darwin, where we have a growing Australian military presence. You know, Russian aircraft bombers in this part of the world, that is a nightmare for Australian defence planners, absolutely.
Thanks so much, Peter. I really appreciate it. Peter Jennings there from Strategic Analysis Australia.